Welcome to the Partnership and Joint Venture Tips video presentation. We've got 5 different sessions for you here, 5 lessons, and we're going to start right now in part 1 discussing both the short-term benefits and short-term challenges that come associated when you start partnering or setting up joint venture deals in your business. So let's start by discussing some of the short-term benefits that you're going to realize. And the first one is pretty obvious, but we need to discuss this. And that is that the sum is greater than the parts. And you've probably heard this saying before, but think about it. If you're working alone in isolation, there's a certain amount of productivity that you can expect from yourself. And as you get better at what you do, your productivity will raise. You take somebody else, somebody that has complement skill set to you, and put them in isolation, same deal. Certain amount of productivity, growth of productivity and output over time. But individually, each person will only reach a certain amount of productivity, have a certain degree of results on their own. You put those two people together, and not only are you combining efforts and the output doubles, but the output goes more than double, because when two people start working together and bouncing ideas off each other, there's a certain dynamic that's created, and that's what it means when we say that the sum is greater than the parts. It's more than just the individual output. It's the new ideas and the new levels of energy and productivity that come out of working together. So you will get far more accomplished when you begin partnering with people. And there's a misconception here. A lot of people think, well, when I partner with somebody, then I cut my take in half. Well, yes, that's true, but I'd rather have half of a much bigger number than I can produce on my own, right? If my half is 5 times more money than the most I can produce on my own, I'll take that half. And we have to be comfortable with doing that. So that's the key thing here. The next thing, and this is very, very powerful, and you'll see this more and more as you grow your business, is you need to have a network, and your network needs to be expanding. Well, the best way to expand your network is to partner with somebody, to create a joint venture, and you're now automatically in their good books, and anybody in their network will now look at you as an equal. And they'll be more willing to talk to you and more willing to discuss things with you. And they may even start coming to you based on the reputation of the person that you're partnering with. So people always ask, new entrepreneurs often ask more experienced entrepreneurs, how did you build such a big network? And other than doing the basic things, partnering is a huge way of growing it in a very, very short period of time. And finally, in general, you're just going to get more sales. I kind of talked about this already. The idea of two people combining their work together will produce far more than just the individual efforts added together. But in general, when you have a collaboration happening, it generally will mean more sales, partly because you're getting more done and there's that team dynamic, but partly also because there are two people selling, or two people at least potentially able to sell, and that's a doubled up effort when it comes to generating traffic or whatever it is that you do to close business. If you double the amount of effort put into selling, you'll make more sales. And so again, it's the law of expansion here. Next, let's talk about some of the short-term challenges. Obviously, some cool things are going to happen here. You're going to get some benefit. There's going to be some stuff you have to watch out for as well. So the first thing is the sacrifice of your own personal projects and your time. As soon as you partner with somebody, and we're going to be discussing some of the things you should do correctly in the beginning to make sure it works well, we'll get into that, but there'll be a time commitment here. And it's often going to be more than you anticipate in the beginning. And so it might mean sacrificing some of the other projects that you have on the go. And this is the joy of being an entrepreneur, right? You have to decide where you want to spend your time and where you maybe need to remove your time from certain situations that, yes, it's still a profitable idea or something I want to do in the future, but right now I need to invest 10 times more of my effort and energy into this partner project because we've made a commitment to each other. So when you partner, be prepared for that you might have to scale back on other things that you have planned and that you're probably excited about, but you might have to delay that excitement a little bit. Here's another big one, and it's something that often stops a lot of partnerships or causes big roadblocks, and that is that you need to be prepared to give more effort. I mean more than 50%. And that might sound a little unfair here, but I'm talking about the mindset. If you are prepared to give more than your fair share of the deal, then you're setting up a leadership stance in your partnership. If you show your partner that you're so committed to success, that you're willing to do whatever it takes to be successful, and you're willing to put in more effort than they are, that will automatically raise the standards of the partnership, and the other partner will 99 times out of 100 reciprocate with the same amount of effort. And if they don't, then that's a great litmus test to tell you that maybe this isn't a great partner for you. So the thing is a mindset behind it. Be prepared to give more effort. And you can certainly expect 50% from your partner, but if they don't get it, then hey, you're doing your best, and you're the one that's going to benefit by always bringing your best to the table either way. And then the last thing you want to remember here is that synergy takes time. Working together with somebody and getting into a state of flow will take time. There's going to be some difficulties in the beginning. Some partnerships start off really, really well, and then they hit a roadblock and then it gets bumpy. Other partnerships start off really rough, and then you kind of have to work through your differentiation and personality, and then you kind of work through it. But no matter what it is, it will take some time for each partner, and sometimes there's going to be more than two of you, to find a rhythm and to understand what the other person likes, what their motivations are, and so on. So be patient when it comes to these joint ventures and partnerships, and you'll overcome that short-term challenge of the lack of synergy that you'll likely experience in the beginning. So in summary, there will be an immediate impact on your life and business, hands down, no question about it. So just accept that going into it. Then you're not going to be angry, you're not going to be frustrated. You'll be prepared to hit that head on. But always remember that no matter what, even if the partner is not putting in their share of the work or whatever it may be, things that you might get frustrated about, or the synergy's not expanding at the rate you want it to, you are going to gain something out of this. And it's probably going to be something that you can bank on for the rest of your career. And you'll probably make lots of money on whatever it is that you learn. So focus on the fact that you're getting an opportunity here. All of the other frustrations you can handle because you are getting a step ahead. And then if you carry that attitude with you, then you're probably going to have a much more successful joint venture.